Previously on the Guardians of Fehal.
Last time, our adventurers made their way in disguise to the highly anticipated fighting pits. Nora turned into a snake to accompany Una and Rowan, posing as brother and sister duo Jasmine and Ali from the Copper Sands region far south from here, while Hans and Frans both entered under the aliases of the Hornet and the Exile. The group then split, with the girls going to the stands to watch the matches and look for anyone Una knew, while the boys waited their turn to fight in the rings. After a glorious open where Josh's Hans and Frans defeated one of the reigning champions in 2 rounds, the boys battled it out against the other contestants as well as each other, leading to the final showdown between Andrew's Hans and Frans and Lou, the man wanted for murder in Una's village, as well as one of her uncle's friends. Una then took the chance to try to lure Ulan, a man previously best friends with her sister, away from the group, being seductive, and to her massive surprise, he followed. As we cut back to our heroes, Hans and Frans have just been declared victorious over Lou in a spectacular final match, and had been called up to meet the nobles in the private box. All right. So, before we cut to Una,
so before even that,
yes,
I just want to say, I don't know how I missed this, but I thought Lou was your uncle.
Oh yeah, he just found that out 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, after that session, we were still on here kind of shooting the shit, and I was like, I can't remember what comment I made, but Lizzie was like, "What?" And I was
No,
like,
yeah, he's like with her uncle, and I'm like, you haven't met her uncle yet, and he's like, who the fuck was I fighting?
Yeah, it's just like, it's not her uncle. I'm like, wait, what? Not sure how I missed that.
It's okay. It's fine. I mean,
Ulan, Una, Lou. I mean, they're all just like these real.
Her uncle's name doesn't start with an U or a W.
Or it doesn't sound like. Yeah.
I actually need to I always need to triple check how to say his name.
Same.
We'll
Same.
I won't say it because it might come up.
I haven't had to check. I haven't had to check once.
You will. All right. Okay. So before we actually start, I want to figure out where Hans and Frans, Josh's character, and where Rowan were for the last fight. I know where Felix was because Lauren is still kind of just hanging out, and she's staying in her spot as Felix to watch this last fight. But I mainly want to know what happened where you guys went after you lost your matches.
My Hans and Frans is good sitting in the stands. Okay. where you got him. I'm fine with that.
Over on the.
I technically don't know that's Felix, but yes.
You know that's Felix. He's not in disguise.
No,
but I mean, you don't officially know, yeah.
No, but I mean, I probably wouldn't notice Felix, because Felix is probably trying to hide, I would imagine. I don't know.
And we're not supposed to recognize him.
Yeah.
With your passive, if you walked by him, you might I think you would see that was Felix. But
I'd probably, if I did, I'd probably try to move somewhere else so I don't just be like staring at him.
I don't know you.
Do you want to stay sitting on this side of on the upper left-hand side of the ring, or do you want to move to a different area then?
No, it's fine. He'd probably go to like the top level or something, the top ring, so he gets a bird's eye view.
Okay. Where did Rowan watch the last fight from?
I would have been watching from the stairs or the gate or whatever into the pit.
Which is where I have you right now.
Yep.
So I will leave you over there. Okay. Okay, so now we're cutting back to Una. Una, what you did was you approached Ulan while Sienna jumped into the ring to wish Lou good luck.
Yep.
At the beginning of his fight.
Yep.
And you walked up to him, grazed the back of his shoulders seductively, waited for him to turn, motioned for him to follow you, and your persuasion was high enough to get him to follow you. So now that you've done this, and I need to move you probably over, where are you leading him to?
So if we were at the east side by like this tower or whatever, I would have walked around the front of the arena, since there's room here, grazed his shoulders, started walking around the arena to get towards like the west side, if he follows me all that way. Because I basically, or even if there's like room for me to sneak up so that way I can let Nora see, but I would have to like fight my way to get through there.
You would have to walk up this. There's a couple nobles here, so let me move them. So you'd have to walk up. There's a couple stairs, so you'd have to walk up this set of stairs, and then this is roped off, starting like here, where I'm holding my mouse. So you'd have to go up to this step or this step, and then go up like this, because this whole area down here is like a guarded, more of a guarded hallway. I just didn't have that on the map, so.
So then maybe what she would do is she just loop back down then.
The stairs?
Well, she would like graze him, have him follow, and then kind of like eventually find her way over here.
You're walking up the stairs, Una, and you're going to the left towards the noble's box, but like this hallway area over here, or are you gonna go down the stairs? Because there's stairs that go up, and then there's some stairs at this top back wall that lead back downstairs.
I guess
inside the facility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My goal is to get it so I get back to the ring, knowing that the fight's about to start, so that way Nora can watch the fight to her best of her ability. So I thought I could just like loop around, but if it's gonna be that difficult, then I'm curious if that.
I mean, you could have just grazed and see if he reacted, and then just tried to stand there and talk to him. But then Sienna's gonna come back.
Yeah, could I like, I guess, walk to him and then like graze it, like go the other way around? So like instead of, since I know that this is open over here, if I went up, and then if I went like up the stairs, came back down this way, and then brushed his shoulders, and then went back this way, would that work? I guess. So instead of going counterclockwise around the steps, could I go clockwise? Or would I have missed my opportunity?
I think you would have just had enough time to do that and get him to follow you over there. Because Sienna was hopping down into the ring, and it took her like a minute or two.
Well, and she's going to have to climb back up too. So, yeah, if I could go, instead of going counterclockwise around that staircase, maybe if I could go clockwise, then I can still stand by the
You could also go up just this one single flight of, like, you could hop up this row, walk, and then grazes back here, and then come back this way if you wanted.
That's what I would do, because I want Nora to watch the fights, because that's what she wanted to do. So I want to make sure that she still has an opportunity. And she's on my left arm.
Yep. Okay. So, Una, you basically have this man that you have not seen in probably a little bit more than 3 years, probably closer to 5 years or 6 years since your sister and him had a falling out. Follow you over to here. Ulan looks to be a man in his probably
30s.
late 20s, early 30s. But he looks like, you know him to be that age equivalency as a Selkie, but he looks a lot more worn down than that. Like, he has he looks a little disheveled. Like I said, his hair looks like it's braided, but it's not as well taken care of, and his face has stubbled. He's lanky. He stands with a slouch, and his clothes are wrinkled, dressed in dark grays. And he's got more of like a tanned gold complexion with black hair compared to how, pale and pasty you are. I mean that with love. But yeah, he just doesn't quite look as put together as when you saw him from 6 years ago. You give me a perception check.
Oh, that's not going to be good. I rolled a 10, but my passive is 15.
With your passive, you can kind of smell. He has a little bit of an alcoholic smell on him. Like he had spilled alcohol on him earlier and just didn't wash it off. And then you notice under his eyes, like he has dark circles under his eyes. Like he doesn't look like he's sleeping well.
I thought you meant he smelled like an alcoholic. That's what I was hearing.
I mean,
He has a bit of an
probably.
alcoholic smell. He's an alcoholic. It's
Yeah.
a weird way to say it, but okay.
He has a lingering scent of alcohol on him.
Okay.
Like not incredibly strong, like maybe he was drinking more heavily earlier. And he doesn't look like he's drunk at the moment, but you definitely smell, like, depending on how close you are to him, there's a little bit of like an alcoholic smell. So, okay. He's looking at you with like confusion, kind of a little bit of checking you out at the same time because you are a very attractive woman who just approached him. And he's mostly he's just looking confused. Like, can I help you? He says.
Hold on, I have to think of the accent that I was doing last time and try not to do Russian. Looks like you could use a friend. And I will, like, cute flirtatious smile and, like, have my, like, kind of do that lean and, like, have, like...
I'm picturing you
how to
leaning forward to
describe
show more of your tits. Like, that's what I'm picturing.
But, like, so it depends on which side he is, because if he's on my left side, then I would have to, like, go around him and do, like, almost like a flirtatious spin so I can put my left hand on the railing so Nora could watch.
You could do that.
Okay, then maybe that's what I would do. Just because if he's approaching from behind me to, like, lean on the railing, I'd have to use my right hand, which then would not allow Nora to see. So I'd maybe kind of brush past him slightly, like maybe like
okay, so like
it's a tight fit. Yeah, so like
Okay.
brush against him slightly and like maybe like rub my hand against his back, like if you're trying to pass someone at a bar and you like
Oh,
do
God.
that move. So that way I can put my left hand on the railing so Nora can see into the pit, and then just kind of do that like
Mhm.
lean, that like sexy hand on hip, kind of puffed up, shoulders back kind of stance.
Okay.
And just say, it looks like you could use a friend, and then have that cute little flirty smile.
okay, we're
Fanning
gonna
your
cut to Nora.
eyelashes.
We're gonna
Oh,
cut to Nora really quickly. Seeing all this, how does Nora continue to watch? Does she watch the match, or is she focused on this shit?
Squeeze, 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 squeeze. What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you grabbing her boobs?
This is
Squeeze,
meant to
squeeze,
be
squeeze,
her arm. Like me
Oh.
wrapped around her arm squeezing.
I
But
mean,
you know,
she did just say that she wants to put you on the left side so you can watch. I didn't realize you guys were that close to
I mean,
friends, but
apparently she wants Nora to watch more than what Nora's comfortable with.
As Nora's squeezing, I'm going to kind of use my hand, because like she's on my hand, is like trying to like soothe her with my finger, like my thumb, by like stroking my thumb against her face to let her know that it's okay, like to the best of my ability. Like, do you know what I mean? So like if you have your hand and if she's up here, like use my thumb to like go against
Like
her
the
scales,
Graze
Yeah,
kind of thing.
like
Mhm.
letting her know that this is okay. Yeah, the
Awkward
turtle. Yeah.
yeah.
Just kind of trying
Um,
to reassure you without being able to reassure you, since obviously I'm talking to this person.
Nora's
Okay.
going to continue to watch into the pit, giving it most of her attention, but she's going to keep an ear out for whatever they're talking about.
Okay. Okay. So you say that, and he looks at you, and he's like, "I don't think I've seen you here before. Are you a new prostitute?"
Ouch.
I mean, she kind of looks like one. I will get kind of that like the hot, not like, oh my god, did you just really call me a prostitute, but more like a big smile of like, no, like,
No, silly.
yeah, that like
Yeah.
the no silly kind of look on her face with a smile, and she's like, no, my brother's in the pit fighting. He was Ali, and I'm just here to show support. I am not a woman of the night.
Oh. He's a little bit like, okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. It's just, the way you said you could use a friend, that's normally something they say. Believe it or not, I'm not normally approached by beautiful women who just want to talk to me.
I must say I have a weakness for men with sadness in their eyes.
Oh, God.
Lizzie's like, okay, how do I flirt with my best friend?
I read this. I'm like, how do I do this?
It's more of how do I flirt? Like, I'm trying to get in the head of like.
How do I flirt with somebody who thinks I'm pathetic? Yay!
Like Edward Cullen. Just act like an Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
Okay, but like, and also like, as a 30-year-old like man, that's what's hard is because I'm like, I don't know
Do you
how
want
to
some
like.
Tips?
Yes, please help me.
You want to play him, and then I'll try to be that awkward teenager.
Andrew, give me advice on being in the mind of a 30-year-old man.
Oh, I mean,
flirting
is he
girl.
normally confident? Is he normally
With sadness in his heart.
No,
Eyes. Eyes. Thank you.
I
There's
would
a
say, he's a little bit more, he's confident about certain things, but his ego in terms of like women has not been great. So he
Has he
kind
been
of has a little
drinking?
bit. Yes, a little bit.
a little bit or enough?
I wouldn't call him buzzed where he would have disadvantage.
Disadvantage has nothing to do with it.
He's had a few drinks.
I don't know. He's probably like, is he more of a warrior?
Yeah, I'd say he has fighting experience.
So maybe he a little braggadocio, like, you know, puffs himself up a little bit. Maybe
Okay.
like puts one arm on the railing and like flexes
Okay,
it, like,
okay.
oh yeah,
Yeah, okay.
because I've
He's like-
never done that before.
No, never.
Let me just puff up my guns.
Steph, I love you, and I'm not flirting with a guy. It's only Lizzie, I
Lizzie.
promise.
Lizzie.
Okay. So yeah. Okay, taking Andrew's advice on how to be a 30-year-old man flirting, he'll kind of lean forward a little bit and get a little bit close to you, where he puts his arm kind of next on the rail to your snake arm and leans forward. Being attracted to sadness is an interesting trait. What does that say about you?
That I've experienced heartache myself.
We should form a club then.
And what has broken your heart?
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh God. Do you guys? I have no ranks in charisma. Just putting that out there.
You don't have any ranks because this isn't
Oh,
4th
10.
edition.
That's
Or
true.
3-5.
I have no charisma, but I have a 10. I rolled a 10, so I'm average. You know, passive question.
Yeah. He'd say, I'd have to know you a bit better before sharing all of my dark secrets with you.
Understandable. I would feel the
What
same
about
way.
you? How does someone as pretty as you, and he puts like a hand under your chin, get her heart broken? This is so hard. I feel so creepy because I know Una's like 16 and this guy's like 30, and I'm
At this
creeped
point-
the fuck out.
At this point, Nora's head would turn because she notices him getting closer. And she would probably start like the almost like wary kind of like wobble back and forth that
Ooh.
snakes do, where it's almost
Snake
like
stalking a predator.
like a little bit of a warning of like, hey, you should probably back off.
Let me see. What is this guy's passive?
Snake stalking a prey. That's what I meant.
Yep.
Snake's the predator. Well, this guy could also be the predator.
I think how to catch a predator.
Yeah.
Guys, how did this episode turn into how to catch a predator?
Wait, where's
I mean,
what's the guy's name that?
That's what I was just gonna ask. How to catch?
Chris something.
They're always Chris.
Wait. Yep, Christopher Edward Hansen.
Yeah, Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen comes out. I know you said you want to go in with this gal tonight, Ali or Jasmine.
Yeah.
But you do realize she's only 16, right? Oh, I didn't know. What are the condoms for then?
Should have told her in her photo.
Oh.
Sorry, Lizzie, keep going.
Okay, no, it's okay. I just need to get that out there. Okay, but he does notice Nora. You see, he notices Nora get a little bit defensive, and he pulls his arm back from that side of the rail and then shifts it so he's got his right arm on the rail, so it's not the arm next to her, but he's still leaning close. He's like, I don't think your pet likes me very much.
It's because she doesn't like strangers who don't like to talk about themselves.
I don't have to be a stranger.
That is true. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with finding a new friend.
So he kind of like looks around and he's like, so how do you propose getting to know me better? Your brother's done fighting and, did you want to go somewhere more private?
Sadly, I'm here to support him tonight, but maybe if you want to meet for a drink tomorrow, it's always nice to talk to strangers in a new city.
You can see him like doing, thinking about it a bit in his head. And he's like, perhaps. Where would we meet up?
Since I am new to the city, maybe you could help find a place.
Oh, where would he recommend?
This is going so much better than I thought it would. So much better.
Fuck, where would he recommend?
I don't know. Yep.
Someplace familiar?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't think he would name the front because he's smarter than that. I think he would name a tavern. Let's call it the Gin Ma, and it is in the 5th district of town.
How do we keep track of time here? Like, is there like a giant clock? Do we just
There's
kind of
clocks.
know?
There's clocks in the city. So I have my own way of like how the hours would be counted, but basically he'd ask you what time do you want to meet?
In the evening? Like
Dinner?
Like maybe even after dinner, like 9 o'clock. So it's like a drink and getting to know one another.
Okay.
So it's not like datey, but it's still like dark enough to sneak away in the shadows if shit goes down.
Oh god. Guys, this is turning into a second sting operation where now you're gonna accompany Una on a date to catch a predator. Andrew's like, no, I'm not helping with this shit.
Look, layers of complexity can be good. But we've gone beyond that.
Yeah, he'll say he would be willing to meet you there tomorrow night at 9.
By this time, has the girl came back yet?
Yeah, it's probably been 2 minutes, so she's probably returned, but she did like a cursory glance looking for Ulan, and then probably went back to watching her boyfriend in the ring.
Did my back's to her, would I have seen her kind of come back, or probably not?
When you finish the conversation with him, you'd see her be back over there, kind of looking, and then back to the fight. And then he's like, how would he end? He's like, well, I guess I'll see you tomorrow night.
I guess so. And I will give him like a cute little smirk. And then as he like, how do you do that thing where you like, since he's close or whatever, like you put like his hand on his chest and then like kind of like let it slowly like.
You're
so
putting your hand on his
shoulder,
chest?
like, so you put him on your shoulder, like you slightly go down the side. So like when you're like with the guy, be like a good night thing. Dude, I flirt way too much with people when I was single.
I've done this to Josh before. It's the lingering touch. Like it's appropriate, but you're kind of like you're kind of dropping your hand.
Is that similar to a lingering fart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's like that lingering, like
Same concept.
goodbye, like enticing him to like make sure he actually comes tomorrow with like a cute little sexy smile and
Yeah. He'll actually like grab your hand, but it's not like rough. He kind of just gently takes your hand, and then he actually kisses it if you let him.
Oh, I'll let him. As
Okay.
weird as this is, she's trying to play it as cool as possible, and she's gonna like freak out after this is all done. So it's fine.
By the way, my name is Ulan.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Jasmine.
Pretty name for a pretty lady. I'll see you tomorrow night then.
Anthony, you can't tell me you've never used these lines on girls.
I have never used that line
Really?
ever.
Oh.
Was that from Aladdin?
No!
No! That's
just a line. Like
It's a
I'm
line
not
from
gonna
some Disney
apologize.
movie I know.
Maybe. Probably. It's a good pickup line.
Is it?
It's been
I
used.
don't know. The only pickup line I have ever heard is, "I love your eyes. They look so good on your face." So
I love your eyes. They look so good in a jar. I mean, on your face.
I'm not even joking. That's what Alan said to me.
Nerd.
Yeah, no, I guess, passing smile, letting him get back to his friend, and then probably staying where she's sitting and, like, gently kind of stroking, like, at this point, like, turning so she can, like, let Nora know it's okay. I guess we have a pet thing. Let me figure out what the signals were. Hold on.
Yeah. While you look that up, Lauren's sending me messages, and she asked if Felix would have seen this, and I said, no, he's watching the fight. And she's like, oh, too bad. He's missing the real show.
Oh, God. 1 squeeze, 2 squeeze. That's all I have written. I didn't write it which one's yes and which one's no. 2 squeeze was private. I don't know. That's what I have made. That's what it says.
1 squeeze was like supposedly supposed to be like an acknowledgement, and 2 squeeze was, we need to go because I need to transform again.
Okay, yeah. So private. That makes sense why I wrote that. Then I would just like pat her head a couple of times, like letting her know that everything's okay. And then probably steal a passing glance at him and then walk over, because I probably saw at this point, now that I'm looking at the fight, like waiting for it to be over and then trying to find Josh, Hans, and Frans. Since at that point we probably would have seen him across the arena.
Okay.
Because Aaron's character, Rowan, is still below, right?
Yeah, watching. Yeah, so there's a couple things that happen. One, part way through the fight, you see another person, kind of the same girl who walked away earlier, kind of walk back down to them and start talking to them and stuff. And occasionally, like, Ulan does kind of keep looking back over at you and doing like a smile.
Oh, yeah, I would, if I caught him, I would return it, like the cute little flirt smile.
Let me see if Sienna. Oh yeah. Sienna notices it and kind of gives him a look like, really? Like,
I'm a sexy lady.
Well, I mean, when her cutesy smile looks like this.
Looks a little manic.
Hey, we're not using Megan's face. We're using sexy Jasmine.
Yeah, but she still has to be the one controlling it.
Controlling the muscles. Yeah, you notice Sienna kind of like giving him a look like, really? Like shaking her head like you have bad taste or something. Actually, I'm no, you wouldn't be able to probably hear from where well, that's not that far. Give me a perception check.
We're using the big dice, you guys. Up, if I can keep it on here. Passive of 15. I rolled an 11.
This part of the conversation is kind of loud. She's like, really? Ugh. He's like, look, I don't judge you. And she's like, whatever. I'm going to be fucking the champion of this fight tonight. Like, super confident and just like, I'm so great. And then after this ends, you can see her look really angry that Lou lost. And then you can see Ulan laugh at her.
And she has to stick to her word.
No.
Yes.
And she punches his arm and then jumps down into the arena to go tend to her like fucked
To go
up
pull the teeth out of
boyfriend.
his ass?
Yes, to go pull the teeth out of his ass. The other woman, which you would have guessed to be Para, goes over and is standing next to Uland and kind of like shaking her head at the loss. Like, now Megan, oh, go ahead. Megan's quiet.
Oh, I said, good. I'm happy Lou lost. He deserves
Yeah.
it. It would be really hard for me, Una, to not hide a giant grin on her face seeing the defeat. Just saying. Like, she would be, and Nora probably would, like, could even maybe feel her, like, excitement and positive energy just flowing off of her. She's so happy that Andrew's Hans Frans did that. And she's so excited and is, like, fighting the urge right now to jump down in the pit and finish the job, almost.
Self-control.
Yeah,
no,
at this, seeing him weak and knowing she could take him out, this is probably a real test of her strength, to be honest.
Thinking she could take him out.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, she knows, like, this is a giant arena, but, like, she's fighting every nerve in her body not to go and finish him off. No, like, just everything that's been happening emotional-wise. And, like, this encounter of just her being nervous and then seeing this win, seeing him so weak, she's having an inner battle right now.
Okay. Is there anything else you're doing with this before cutting back over to the boys finishing the fight and then Andrew going up to the noble box?
Nope. I mean, finding Ali, her brother.
Okay.
And then maybe even finding a spot for if Nora wanted to pop out to talk. But she just recast, so probably not.
Okay. You probably would go down one of the flights of stairs and you could go meet your brother on the other end of the competition, like the competitors' ring in the box area. But Aaron, do you stay down there like right after this fight happens, or do you go somewhere else?
So after Andrew wins, is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
I wanted to follow the bad guy out. I forget his name.
Okay. Lou.
Yeah, just like I wanted to follow him through to the stands area. Just like see, because if I'm remembering the timeline correctly, he stormed out with what's her name.
Yeah, that was at the very end of the match. So they actually would have gone past you.
Okay, perfect.
In the stairwell.
So then I would just sort of closely, not too close, follow them just to see where they go because they looked upset more than just like we lost the match kind of thing. And yeah.
How close behind them are you following them as they're kind of going back? Because there's a little bit of a stairwell and stuff that they're kind of talking on.
Maybe like 10, 15 feet.
Okay. All right. Now give me a perception check.
Perception. I'm going to roll in D&D Beyond since they have dice rolling now. And that gave 16 on the die plus 3 is 19.
What's your negative to your passive if you're at disadvantage?
5.
5? Okay. Give me a stealth check too. But if you don't want to add your dex, you could add your charisma as kind of like a social, like act like you're not really listening and you're just kind of hanging out and zoning out, waiting for your sister.
Okay. Yeah. I'll add charisma to. So I rolled a 19 plus dex gives me 20 plus charisma gives me 21.
Okay. You managed to overhear some of what they're talking about then. So you watch the match, you pick up some coins, you steal some of the coins that were thrown to Lou and Hans and Frans, because, they were on your side of the ring.
Because Rowan needs to be able to make bets in the future without his sister knowing.
Yep.
I need my side purse.
Lou storms towards the stairs and past you, followed closely by a much shorter, honey blonde woman with very large brown eyes like Una and has sea glass in her braids.
Andrew, I see that laugh. I know where your brain was going. Very large brown eyes.
Huge tracts of land. Her face is also a mixture of frustration as she's trying to talk to him. And Lou is just super angry. He's like, that malformed piece of detritus. He fucking cheated. He used some sort of magic to get behind me. Lou, calm down. She's saying as she's like trying to push him in the hallway and get him to calm down. And then he like kind of like slaps her hands off of him angrily. He's like, he stole my last match from me. Ooh. I know. Don't fight him here. Just at least wait till he's alone if you're gonna like smash his head up against a wall. Oh, he better hope he's not alone or I am gonna smash his head up against the wall. And then they've kind of like are calming down a little bit in the fight. And then looking back towards the thing, he sees and he's watching Andrew's Hans and Frans be led to the nobles' boxes. And Sienna kind of like reaches forward and like grabs his arm and like hangs on it a bit. And she's like, do you really want to wait around? And he's like, yes. She's like, none of this matters, Lou. I'm sorry you lost your final fight, but there's better things ahead. A few more days and this is all going to be over. Mm-hmm. So what you're saying, as he says and looks at her with a smile, nothing that happens here tonight matters. Don't get ahead of yourself. We got to check with the boss first before you go just mugging this guy. Well, then let's go up in the stands. I want to keep an eye on him. Don't be so obvious. I'll be your eyes. And then they kind of like go slink off towards like going up in the stands.
Oh, shit.
You are lucky you rolled really good on your stealth. Yeah. And they didn't notice that.
Well, that changes because I was gonna, double back and go back into the stands and sort of find Andrew's Hans and Frans. But I don't
You know
wanna...
where he is. He's going up to the noble box. He's getting led up another set of stairs the other way.
Yep. Okay, so we went through the gateway out of the pits, and they're working their way back up into the stands. Is there a different way up into the stands from the way that they're going?
If you went down into the green room and then went up the flight of stairs in there, you could go that way.
Okay. Because, yeah, I want to go the same place they're going, but not the exact same way. So it's like, oh, I'm not following you, I promise. Because I don't want to press my luck. Yeah, okay, so I'll go through the green room and the stairs that way. Maybe I'll just work my way towards Una and very very sneakily find a way to tell her everything I just heard.
Okay. Give me a perception check to just kind of find Una, like in the crowd. Because she moved a little bit from where she was before after she gave you the berries the first time.
God, D&D Beyond is rolling really well for me. I rolled a 15 plus 3 is 18.
Okay. You can find her over on the right side of the arena.
Could I have seen them from where I was watching the fight? Like looking at the line of sight?
Yeah, you could have. So yeah, you can find her. So you find her pretty easily. You make your way over.
Okay.
Josh, what do you do after your brother's fight?
Well, he would probably, go, yeah! The Horde is very pleased with that victory.
Oh, yeah, man, that was amazing. I can't believe he beat Lou. That guy's a beast.
Well, no, he is a shark. That is his name, is it not?
You got a good sense of humor, Hornet. I was rooting for you, too.
I used up too much energy on the Viper. He very, very handily constricted my strength.
Well, I can't wait to see that replayed by the little Kenku performers next time. Those little bird brains do such a good job.
Oh, there are performers of our matches for later enjoyment.
Yeah, that's what they did at the beginning of this one. They were replaying the fight between the Viper and Lou last time. And they did some other matches too, but that was the main one.
Say, where does a champion go after his match is done. I would like to congratulate the exile on his achievement. I was hoping to face the shark in the arena myself, but...
Well, you could wait for him outside the nobles box, or, you know, like go around that part of the stand, or go back to the waiting room. I don't know.
Well, my tankard is empty, so I think I'll go back down to the green room and get another dose.
All right, well, good luck, man. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. You are fun.
I hope to be back. This is a very enjoyable event. Thank you, random patron.
Oh, my name's Steve.
And he walks off.
You are lucky he's
sorry.
not here.
I know. I was going to call him Chad, and I'm like, no, we already named someone Chad Branderson. There's not going to be another Chad.
Not Branderson, Brandunson.
But yeah, so are you going to go down to the drinking area, or are you going to go over towards the nobles box to wait and see Andrew get out of there?
Drinking area first. Because, you know, I don't want to just loiter around the nobles box and whatnot. And yeah, just go down and basically, you know, say, the Hornet would like another drink. My energy is depleted and I need a refill.
The barkeep will give you another drink.
Cool. Yeah, Hans Frans will just drink that one a little slower. And just kind of, you know, take his time on it to maybe see if the exile comes back in the green room.
Okay. How long do you wait down there?
I don't know, probably 10, 15 minutes.
Okay. 10 or 15 minutes. Noted. So basically, we cut over to Andrew. Your character is now the victor. You've been rewarded with gold. Did you write down how much I gave you last time? I think I said it was 200 gold, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
okay, and then there was some other stuff that got chucked at you from Rowan and U's matches and this one, so...
Yep, I got it all.
Okay, so you are led up to the noble box, and as you're on your way there, you notice that beyond just the normal personal guards of the gauntlet that have their own regalia, there are other guards here that are dressed in different heraldry that you would assume are probably some of the nobles' personal guards. As you get closer to the door, Sir Crussell, which was the announcer that Steve was, he actually grabs your shoulder and then he looks at you seriously and says, "Exile, you are about to stand before some of the most powerful men in the Wind Plains, members of Her Grace's council and men of great station. My own fortune was made from their kindness and notice. Keep that in mind as you talk to them, for you could find your future. Do you understand?"
Yes, Marcus Aurelius.
Look, I'm sorry. I was trying to do his weird Jim Ross thing, and I just couldn't do it.
No, that speech reminds me from Gladiators when he talks about.
Yeah, I was channeling that a little bit too, but yeah, he's trying to give you a friendly warning as like, you're a peasant, you're gonna meet some important people. Here's your heads up.
I'm not a fucking peasant, bitch. Yar.
I think you got some brain damage in the ring. You sound different.
You know what, Lizzie? I don't need that right now in my life.
I'm sorry. You can have whatever voice you want. He wouldn't say that. I just thought it was funny. Okay.
Don't worry, it changed from the beginning of the first fight to the end of the first fight anyway. It's changed like 8 times.
So basically the door is opened by the guards, and Sir Crussell walks in first and kind of like bows and starts to introduce you. But the thing that strikes you first is there are fine smells of like perfume that flutter past you from this room, and your eyes see this decadent scene. There's wine poured from silver chalices. There's fine meats and delicate pastries decorated on the table. Just with like your passive, you're like, oh wow, some of these are like very similar to the ones like Rhiannon brought, but then there's other ones that are like spun sugar, cradling exotic fruits upon delicate little branches of trees made up. The private box itself is roughly 20 feet by 30 feet, and it's just filled with the smells of luxury. It's walled, save for the half wall facing the ring, and the walls themselves are painted with scenes of battle. And the seats in here are nothing like the cold stone ones of the main arena. These are fine chairs made of sandalwood, which is very costly, as someone who's traveled, and covered with fine magenta velvet cushions. Sir Krusel bows before the men and women in the room and says, "My honorable lords, I have the honor of presenting this man, the exile, to you." And then he motions you into the room. Does Hans and Frans bow?
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it wouldn't really. It would maybe occur to him, especially seeing
Sir Krusel bow.
Sir Krusel bow, but I mean, he wouldn't naturally bow to them as Hans and Frans, and with this, alter ego, he definitely wouldn't. So he'll just kind of step in and just kind of stand there, like he has no idea what they want.
Okay. You can see there's a little bit of subtle, mostly kind of soft, gasps a little bit from the girls in the room, which there are some very nicely dressed women sitting in here, very, very, very fancy gowns and jewelry in their hair, and slightly revealing dresses where you're getting to the girls down in the rings that you met earlier, but these ones are very highly paid professionals. Hans and Frans, I don't know if would know what a courtesan is, but basically for your reference, that's what the girls in this area are. But basically there's a little bit of gasps of not bowing. But one of the lords actually kind of laughs at you for not bowing and is, "Well, gentlemen, he's bold in the ring and in front of us. Well done, Exile. You were fairly amusing tonight with your fight. I congratulate you on your victory." And he stands up, and this guy is dressed in fine golds and greens with rose gold roses made out of that weird fey reflective fabric you've seen. And I don't know if you are zoomed in on the noble box, Andrew, but I can actually highlight who's talking to you.
Sure.
Okay, it's this guy.
The pretty boy?
Yeah, the pretty boy. He has a very friendly demeanor and seems to find the fact that you didn't bow very amusing. And Sir Krusel is really a little bit embarrassed. But he's "Exile, this is the Marquis and Keeper of Trade to Lady Elaine of the Wind Plains, Lord Briar." Do you say anything?
I mean, yes, just fucking give me a second.
Yeah, okay, good.
Is Lord Briar a vampire?
No.
No, he's got no wood.
Ah.
Don't worry, Hans and Frans brought his own. I really just want to go full cheese Macho Man, but at this point.
Hey man, do what you want, okay?
Okay, repeat what he said last again.
He said he thought it was funny that you didn't. He's you're gallant in the ring and also
Bold in the ring.
You're bold in the ring as you are here. That was an excellent fight. Quite a victory over the shark. That's I think basically what he said.
Yeah. Well, you see, when I'm in the ring or when I'm out and about, I am a bold man and I make bold choices and even bolder decisions.
He kind of laughs oh, wow, this one has quite the theatricality about him. And there's another man who kind of is quiet, probably in his late 20s, that has a very stoic expression, and he's dressed more in a gold and yellow tunic with a white and black griffin on it, and he has dark hair that is kind of not super short, a little bit more longer cut over his ears, but is sitting there looking you up and down. He's fought with honor, too. I saw you do something to get your opponents back up after the matches were called. Well, saving the shark, which can hardly be mad at you for that in the heat of the moment of winning.
Well, the shark. I can't, because he mocked me, didn't he? At the beginning of the fight?
Yeah, he basically said you were going to be chum in the water, so.
Yeah.
Which,
the shark came out talking nonsense. So the shark got the nonsense back, which doesn't really make any sense, but.
It's all a bunch of nonsense, bro.
There's another guy who's like, there's another one that says, I see this one received some sort of head injury from the battle. Can't speak clearly. And then the one who was very gallant and friendly towards you, Briar, just looks at him and is like, you're just mad because you bet on Lou. I am here to show my full appreciation for this gentleman here who won the match and won me a lot of your money, Rice.
Oh, Lord Rice is there.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm trying to think of.
Why do you would say that?
Yeah, I forgot that it was Lord Rice.
No, this is the one who's talking to you nicely isn't Rice. This
No,
is
I know.
Lord
The other
Briar.
one is. The other one is.
No, and this one is got a griffin sigil on him, which you know is not Lord Rice's. But this guy has the heraldry of it looks like Meyerfield, and he's very handsome. He has shiny black hair with green eyes, and you would have seen him in his armor when he rode past in Windvale on the horse. So you kind of know who he is. And he's actually sitting next to another gentleman who's probably more in his like mid-30s, who has more of a flat nose and like dirty blonde hair and just isn't quite as, like striking looking. But he looks very angry at you too, which you're like, did I cause you to lose money too? Maybe.
Well, he just said Lord Rice.
Yeah.
Who's he talking to?
Lord Briar is basically saying to Lord Rice, like, you're just mad you lost money to me. And this guy next to him also looks very sour, but he's wearing the Meyerfield heraldry as well.
Okay. But Rice is the one
that said you had brain injury.
But he was the one he's the one who is the leader of Meyerfield, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So Hans and Frans has to probably literally bite his lip when he realizes who this guy is.
Who this is, yep.
He's out losing money while his people die from ghost attacks.
But there's actually then a bit of small talk. They're like, tell us, Exile, about yourself. One of the other lords says, and this guy is very well tanned. He's in his early 40s. He has black hair peppered with gray, cut very short, and he has a bit of a smirk and amused eyes. Like he's kind of taking your measure. His face is marked with scars, and he actually has one eye covered with a fine silken eye patch. And he's dressed in cobalt blue and bears a great silver swordfish upon his chest. And you can also see around his hip, he has a sword, because he stood up, he has a sword that looks like the handle head of it is actually a swordfish as well.
Does that mean anything to me?
Give me a history check.
A 3.
Okay, nope. You're like, wow, that's a cool fucking rapier this guy has. I like his eye patch. Looks like he's seen some battles.
Yeah, I was saying he looks like he's seen some battle.
Yeah, he looks like he's seen some battle, and he also looks like he's taking your measure and a little bit of a tactician, type of person.
And I'm sorry, what did he ask me? He asked me a little about yourself or something, didn't he?
Yeah, tell us about yourself.
I am a man. Hold on.
I can't.
I am a traveling man. God damn it. How would he say this? Hold on. He's gonna essentially say who he is, but oddly, because he doesn't know who else to be.
He's half answering in half truths.
Well, whole truths, half-assishly. The Exile's a man who travels across mountains from places on the other side of them.
One of the other lords, one who is also in his early 40s and has long brown hair with gray mixed in, tied neatly back, dressed in silks of grays and green with like a bow and arrow emblazoned on his chest, is like, does that mean you are from the Iron Valley originally, or perhaps near the Blooming Meadows?
Do I know the Blooming Meadows?
You crossed over into the Blooming Meadows on your way to find the missing hunters, where you fought the Harpies and where the Kenku village with the Nightingale is. So,
what would be like a town that is just kind of like a throwaway town that Josh and I had been to? Probably like one that we may have spent a winter in or something. Just
in the Iron Valley.
Yeah. There's one town on here called Region.
That you went through there, and it kind of was like a town full of like ruins. So you might want to actually say that you were from, I think that's Barrenhell, or High Peak. You could have said High Peak or Barrenhall or something like that. Those are mountain towns that you could have spent a winter in.
And where?
They are down. They are
Where
a
are
little
we
bit.
actually from?
You're from Bowden. That's
Okay,
the
that's what I
winter
thought,
village
yeah.
of the Bandaya. Yep. So this would be outside the borders. That's what those white marks are in the map. Is the.
And that's near the
Borders.
bear, so that would make sense. He'd probably say
Yep.
bear.
Yep. Okay.
The boulder, no, the exiles from Barrenhall are originally.
Well, if you're a man who travels, are you looking for work of any particular kind? And one of the guy who has more of like a flat nose and is dressed in an outfit that looks like the Meyerfield heraldry but isn't Lord Rice, is like, do you really want a man who cheats on your payroll, Westwood?
I turn and look at whoever said that.
Yeah, you do. It's this motherfucker in the room.
Hold on the map again.
Here.
Okay.
That guy.
What do you speak of this cheating?
You use some sort of magic to pop behind the shark in that fight. I saw it. There's no way you could have gone around him otherwise. And Westwood is like, Gerald, I know you're upset that you lost, but can't you have a little bit more dignity about it? And Geralt looks a little bit chastised and kind of like shrinks back. And Briar's like, besides, there's no rules about it. I think it's a bit of cunning. If anything, I've actually seen seen my wife do a similar sort of vanishing move like that before. And
I turn to look at him and say, and punched a man in the face.
He's like, perhaps this man is actually Fey, and that's why he keeps his features hidden. And Westwood's like, no, if he was Fey, I don't think he would be from that far south. But yeah, basically, then it goes back to the guy who is wearing the Griffin heraldry looks at you, he's like, well, Exile, that is a question for you, though. I believe a few of us here are interested in seeing if we could perhaps employ you. It's very rare to find not only a talented man-at-arms who is clever in battle and overcoming his enemies, but also one honorable enough to help those that he knocked down get back up again. Are you interested in employment?
You
were like, I was not expecting this.
Oh shit, I rolled really well. So, I'll be living like a fat cat. I don't know, is that a saying?
Sure.
No, wait.
Is now.
No, I'm trying to think. Josh, what would be something like fortune favor, like living well from our village? What?
The bear before hibernating.
Yeah. The exile will be living like a bear before hibernation for a little while off this, and he kind of pats the purse that was given to him. But it's always good to have a little more fat in the belly or a little more fat on the edges to survive that winter if you can. So yes, I think I would be.
Well then. Briar is like smiling. He's like, well, I know there's at least I'm interested in hiring you, and I believe Griffin is as well. Westwood as well, perhaps.
Point them out again. Which one's he talking about?
Okay, so this one,
Wait, what was I didn't? Okay, that one.
this one,
Okay.
and this one are kind of like the ones that are expressing interest. Hang on, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. No.
So it's. So Griffin, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Westwood.
Yep, Westwood.
And what was the last one?
Briar.
I keep wanting to say the boulder, and I almost just roll the boulder. I mean, he kind of like drops the facade. Like you keep the voice, but you kind of drop the
posturing.
yeah. That would be very nice. I know I have friends that could always use a bit of work as well. If you're looking to hire more than just myself.
Griffin is like, well, they would have to go under a bit of a rigorous investigation as well, but I think that if you have friends that have similar talents to you or are as honorable as you, we're always looking for honorable what would you
Their
call
talents their talents are their own, but they fit in line with what I do. And I understand the need to look into who may be working for you. I can respect that in a man rather than just expecting a man who can throw a punch to be a good worker.
The three of them kind of are like smiling a little bit at each other like, well, 3 offers. I was thinking of having him be one of my men-at-arms. I could have him go to Thornglen. I could always use protection around there, especially with my wife having a baby soon, is what Briar said. And
and then, I have to take notes for like the second time this whole campaign. So Griffin is having a baby.
No, Briar is having a baby.
Didn't you just say Griffin?
No, I meant Briar.
No, said Briar. She said Briar.
Yeah.
Briar said I could send him to Thornglen because with my wife about to have our next child.
Thorngard?
Thornglen.
Glen. Let's hope I can read that later. Okay.
Okay.
Do I know anything about this Thornglen?
Give me a I don't think you would have passed through there, so it would have been as much. How much do Hans and Frans like look at maps of surrounding towns of the Wind Plains?
Probably a bit, and it wouldn't be so much maps, but just like talking with people, finding out what's in the
Okay.
area. I'll do it with a disadvantage if you want me to. That seems legitimate.
No, because you work at the guild. I would say just roll a. Would this be history? Be some sort of knowledge check, or would it just be an intelligence?
It's hard
Yeah.
in 5th edition.
I know. Like, there's no knowledge local like there is in Pathfinder, which is kind of useful. Nope.
No, I don't think a 4 is going to do it.
You feel like you've heard the name of that before, but it's just not in your mind right now because there's just a lot of other shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
Westwood says, are you going to have him be the babysitter of all of, like, 7 children now? And Briar's like, my oldest ones are much more independent and nearly teenagers now. They can handle themselves. Although he could be a bodyguard maybe for my eldest daughter.
Is Briar the oldest one?
No.
Briar's the young
He's
one.
like Briar looks like he's about 37. He just has a very youthful look. Like, he has a young face. So you're a little bit surprised. You're like, I thought you were in like your early 30s.
When he says 7 kids, Hans and Frans kind of like, he's like, turns to look at Westwood as he's talking, and then he says 7 kids. He's like,
That's a lot of fucking kids.
even for a barbarian, bro.
He's like, a rose bush has many roses on it. What can I say? Anyway, now if you're a man who enjoys hunting and sport and game, you could come join my huntsman order, perhaps. Westwood says to you.
Join as hunts. What was it?
I think it's called the Huntsman Order.
Huntsman order? Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
Or the Order of the Hunt. I can't remember. I don't have that note pulled up in front of me.
Okay, I'll just leave it Huntsman's order. That does sound quite interesting. I did do a lot of hunting, but mostly for survival.
I think that Griffin says, well, if you don't particularly enjoy hunting monsters that wander out of like the Fey realm or other places, then you probably
He like Hans and Frans like visibly like kind of like perks up like what monsters?
Okay. If you're not interested, if you're not interested in that, I could have you be I could have you be one of my men at arms, or perhaps have a position in the courts as a high bailiff over one of my territories, or a master of one of the what do you call them? Prisons, probably like a overseer of
Gulags.
not gulags,
Jail?
like prisoners, jails, something like that. Like or be a bailiff in one of my counties or one of my lands, territories, I guess you'd call it, baronies, whatever.
What I know what a bailiff
Fief.
is?
A fief. Yeah, Hans and Frans, without rolling, it's basically like the sheriff of, like, it would be the sheriff.
I hear
So
he gets
being
shot sometimes.
Yes, but not the deputy.
No,
it
that'd
would-
be fine.
Yeah, it basically, so the way it works in this world is like there's bailiffs over specific regions who are appointed by lords to kind of maintain their law there and kind of like hunt down troublemakers and like and keep the peace. And like if there is somebody who broke the law, they're in charge of bringing them to the lord for judgment. So you'd also get some lands from that.
Shit.
Hans and Frans is like, fuck the Bendaya, I have new career options ahead of me. I'm gonna go be the sheriff of somewhere. The sheriff of Nottingham.
Nottingham. I was watching Men in Tights earlier. To be completely frank with you three, the offers are very tempting, but I don't know if I could do a long-term gig. I have things of my own that need to be accomplished eventually. So if you have something a little more local and temporary,
Short term.
short term,
I think
wherever that just came from. Yes, short term.
yes. The man with the eye patch and a swordfish on his tunic doublet thing he's wearing is kind of like nodding. He's like, I can't fault the exile. A man likes his freedom. Unfortunately, as my peers would tell you, that becoming somebody for a nobleman involves loyalty and sworn oaths, and it's very hard to earn flexibility with that position until you've put in years of service. So if you're a man who enjoys his freedom, perhaps a long-term employment option would not suit you well, exile.
I'm kind of nodding along as he's speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That is quite correct. And it's not so much that I enjoy my freedom as there are tasks that I must complete of my own. And not that I don't find you three gentlemen here to be probably worth somebody's loyalty. I am not originally from here, and I cannot guarantee that.
They all kind of nod respectfully, and Rice kind of is sitting there like looking really bored and is kind of like annoyed that like the courtesans are like paying attention to this guy, like paying attention to you, like, oh, what's this conversation? This is juicy shit. And he's like, well, if that's the case and he's not interested in employment, just pay him what you were going to, and then let's just end this for the evening. We have other business that we could be discussing.
They're gonna pay me?
Well, they hadn't said that, but Briar's like, oh, I do hate to let a good bargain go, but I wouldn't demand loyalty from a man who is bound to no country. So, yes, Rice jumped the gun on it, but we only felt it fair to give you some percentage of our winnings, since you made us quite a bit of money being such an upset vote tonight. So Lord Briar has like one of the servants walk over and like give you 3 sacks of money. Or no, actually 3 sacks of money, or was it 4? Okay. You get one that is got embroidered roses on it, which you would assume is briarwood, like a coin bag from Briar. You get one that has swordfish on it.
Oh,
you get one,
shit. Okay.
and then you get one from Westwood. So
is his
his has got bow and arrows on it.
sack with roses on it? You said.
Yeah. That's Briar's.
Yep.
Westwood has a bow and arrow, and the other guy's is I'll just say his name. His name is Jasper Evelyn, and he has a swordfish on it. And yes, Sam and Aaron, this is Jasper's NPC.
Cute.
You said with arrows and
Westwood has bow and arrows on it, like a bow with arrows and stitched onto it.
Okay. Wait, that was Griffin?
No, that's Westwood. You know what? I'm gonna send you
Wait,
all of their
so who's got the swordfish?
Evelyn. Evelyn didn't offer. He was the one who has the eye patch and said that you'd have to swear loyalty, and I respect the fact you'd want to move around. He wasn't offering you a job, but he's giving you money. He's giving you money. Griffin doesn't offer you money, and but he doesn't really. Just looking at him, you're like, you don't really look like the sort who bets.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
So you get 3 coin purses of money from them.
Cool.
Leave it to Jasper to give his character an eye patch.
Well,
we came up with how he lost his eye too. Like,
oh wow. Gave his NPC a backstory. Oh man.
Yeah, proud of that guy.
Oh, and he gave me all this. He was like, okay, what do you want him to be like? He's like, I want him to be like in his 40s. I want him to be like grizzled a little bit by war, but also a bit of like he appreciates a good game. Like, be the type of person that this is, because it probably won't come up, but like, this is kind of a known thing about him. He's known to, like, if someone asks him for a favor, he's kind of prone to make you play a game against him for it.
Okay.
Like
Good job, Jasper.
Yeah. So Jasper came up with that as a flavor thing for this guy. So I love him.
My main concern about this guy is that his name has both evil and villain in it. So
Wait.
clearly he's the BBEG.
What's his name?
Evelyn.
Jasper Evelyn, which Evelyn is a medieval French name, and I believe
Was it a B or a V?
V.
Evelyn, IBELIN.
Oh. Sounds like
IBELIN.
Yep, you got it.
So I added an E instead of an I at the beginning.
Yep. It's a French name originally. But yeah, so you get 3 things of money, which it looks like they have their little heraldry on it and stuff. They're like,
I will definitely be keeping those sacks for a rainy day, just in case.
okay.
Do you want to tell me what's in there, or do you want to wait?
Are you gonna count it in front of
No,
them?
I'm not going. But I'm just
for your notes.
putting it on my.
So Jasper Evelyn gives you 100 gold. Westwood gives you 50 gold, and Briar gives you 200 gold. This is why it pays to be a fighter, and also why Lou is very pissed that he lost.
Shit. Yeah. I put the. I don't even know where if I want to put all this money. I was supposed to. Like, I got my cloak. I got my cloak kind of like wrapped up. Whatever I could just. I don't even know.
Put them all together, throw them over your shoulder, and walk out like a boss.
It's in platinum, so it is a little bit easier to carry. By the way.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably He
I
probably.
was gonna say, Gerald and Rice look like Rice is trying to mask his irritation better, and he's succeeding more. But like Gerald is just glaring at you, like. But you basically get the vibe. It's because the reason that money was theirs,
Well,
and they lost.
That's a portion of what they lost.
They lost.
Yeah, because if I'm getting this from them, that means that they got a lot more out of it than I did.
Oh yeah. I mean, do you want to know, like above table? Do you want to know?
No, because I don't want to hate
Okay.
him more than I already do.
Well, no, but I mean, what the guys won in total.
100 to 1 odds.
I was gonna say, okay, so Briar won 10,000 gold.
Nope, I don't want to know anymore.
10,000, 20,000, 30,000.
I love how they win like thousands and thousands and thousands of gold, and they're just like, you won us all this money, you should have a little bit of it. Here's like a penny.
Yeah.
I mean, to Hans and Frans, that's a lot of fucking money.
It is.
That's like a full month of highfalutin living.
So since that's kind of like, I'm assuming kind of like a dismissal almost. Hans and
They
Frans.
kind of look like they're bored with you now, so.
Yeah, Hans and Frans turns to the four on the right there that
Yeah.
have been decent, have been good to him. And he will give them a bow, like not a full like courtly like all the way down, but like a good like half to 3/4 bow.
Yeah, you just lean forward a little bit. Just
Yeah.
A little more than that. Like he's
Oh.
showing them some real respect. Like, hey, you guys are,
Okay.
you guys seem like
Well,
good
Head
people.
nod, if you will.
Yeah. Briar kind of smirks and like hits Rice's arm on the way out, and he's like, I guess he looks at those two like, well, maybe if you all had better manners, you would get the same respect as you're walking out.
And then since we literally have nothing else planned, or there's no more to this plan,
Yeah.
I am well, no, I'd probably go down to the pit,
There.
the green room or whatever,
Okay.
and like just grab a tankard and like to see if I can see Rowan and my brother
Okay.
to try and like maybe kind of leave close-ish together.
Which way are you going out? Are you gonna go clockwise or counterclockwise to
Where's
get
the
back
green room at
downstairs?
again?
It's all the way over on the clockwise side. Like I would say, like if this thing is a circle,
So I'd go
it would
towards my
be
brother?
9 o'clock.
the whole
you'd go
thing
towards
is
your brother.
clockwise.
Yeah. So you could go this way and go down to the green room. If you go that way, give me a person. Are you looking for the others actively?
No, just like passively. Well, I'm knowing my brother. He's gonna find me before I find him because my passive
Okay.
is shit.
Okay.
So like, I mean, whatever a 10 gets me is what I'd get.
All right.
I mean, my
10.
brother is wearing a big fucking leather mask, and he's standing right where I'm going.
Okay. You would find him in the green room. You don't see the others. What are Una and Nora and Rowan doing? And by the way, Felix did move over to your side of the arena and is kind of like, looks like he's watching the Lord's box and the conversation happening in there. And the only reason I say that is because you would probably, you would notice that he walked over there.
Yeah.
And you know it's him, but.
Okay, so I would have very quietly, trying to keep up the facade of I don't speak, communicated. Hold on. Communicated to. Yeah. I would have very quietly tried to communicate to them what I heard on the stairs.
Yeah, we would probably move away, especially with Felix being right there. Like, maybe like while he's walking, like have like be really close to him so he could tell it to us and make sure people are away from us while he tells us this information.
Okay. So where do you go? Like, do you go over
We would go
here?
counterclockwise to the north side. Yeah, over that way.
Okay.
I would try and tell them as much as possible
People
in that
are
empty
kind of
window.
leaving. People are kind of leaving now, so it's getting a little bit less busy. Okay.
And I wrote down all of the notes from the conversation already.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm assuming you tell us everything.
Yeah. And then so I would recount as much of the conversation as possible, and then I would say I think we should do whatever we can to protect Hans and Frans. I don't know what's going to happen if we're not there to back him up, and I don't want to find out.
I think that you are right, and we should definitely keep an eye on Hans and Frans just to make sure he's safe.
Yes.
At least pretend that we're congratulating him, and maybe offer him a drink and meet at a tavern where we were going to meet previously.
That's not a bad idea.
That way we could keep up the ruse that we don't know him outside of this and we're wanting to congratulate him.
Yes, we could play it off as fair fight, you won, we'll buy you around.
Yes. Just like that. You're learning so many things.
I feel like
However-
I spent too much time in the city.
Agreed. However, I do have some information to share with everyone that may have made Nora a little uncomfortable, so I do need to apologize to her.
Nora kind of like slithers around your arm, presses her head against your like skin, just in like a it's okay. It's
Okay.
okay. I'm fine.
And yeah, then at that point, we'll kind of keep an eye out for Andrew's Hans and Frans and make sure he's not followed. Maybe like head back going clockwise now. So we went counter, now we're gonna go clockwise to follow him out of the noble's booth. Just
Yeah.
to make sure he's safe.
You guys probably would see him walk out of the noble's box and start going towards the green room. Well, not the green. They wouldn't call it the green room. The fighters' hangout room.
Yeah, no, keeping a close eye on him. And then, as we were talking, just kind of using the ruse of congratulations, let's go buy a round. We're staying at blah, blah, blah Inn, the one that Andrew's Hans and Frans already bought a room at. We'll just say that that's where we're staying as well.
Yeah.
And, like, go to that tavern.
The Dandy Rooster.
Yeah.
Oh
The
yeah.
Dandy Rooster.
So
Just as a ruse, so just in case he
Yeah.
is followed.
Are you looking for the Selkies or anything? Because they kind of met up, like the Uland and the other one, Para, like left after like Lou and Sienna were out of the ring, so they went somewhere. out
No,
of sight.
I think that she feels she didn't want to follow him because she didn't want it to just be her and Nora. Because that's a lot of pressure to put on Nora without Una telling her what she wants
Mhm.
to. Granted, yes, Una wants to. She just doesn't want to put Nora in danger. So she wouldn't, especially since she has the meeting tomorrow with him planned. And
Okay.
knowing that that could possibly be a way to confront them, especially after hearing that they're still going to be around for a few more days.
And I'd be keeping an eye out for what's his face
Lou.
that
Lou.
I heard on the stairs.
Okay.
Lou.
Just
So
just
you guys
trying to,
you guys are going down to the green room though?
Yeah.
Okay. Aaron, give me a perception check.
Let's see here.
agony.
Ooh, that's a was a 7.
Nope. You don't see him at all,
Okay.
or anybody else, but.
Okay.
Hi, listeners. I hate to interrupt the episode, but I have some bad news. As we were recording this episode, there was a bit of a technical snafu. Discord has a third-party recording app that we use to record our episodes while we're all socially isolating from one another. Had a bit of a malfunction with Discord, so we lost probably like a 45-minute segment of the episode, and unfortunately there's nothing we can do to recover it, and it's not really something we can re-record because there is a lot of rolls and a bit of a chase scene that happens. So I'm gonna summarize what happens, and I'm really sorry. I wish there was a way to fix this, but there's really not. The only thing I can think of doing is just summarizing what happened. So after Hans and Frans went downstairs to the waiting room where the fighters all went in originally before their matches, the twins met up downstairs and made not quite small talk with each other, but just kind of saying, I appreciated you in the match, you did a good job, blah da da, pretending like they didn't know each other. And then Una, Nora, and Rowan came downstairs. Una still obviously dressed up as Jasmine, Rowan still dressed up as Ali, and Nora still disguised as a snake on Una's arm. And they proceeded to try to hint that they should all leave and go to the same bar together, but Anders, Hans, and Frans didn't want them to say the name of the place they were going to, so he interrupted Una and then basically said that he was going to head off for the night. And above table, they kind of were trying to give signals of, like, how much time should pass before they leave. And Hans and Frans left, and then Josh's Hans and Frans left about a minute afterwards, and then Una, Nora, and Rowan left after Andrew's Hans and Frans left. But one thing that happened in between Hans and Frans leaving and then Josh's Hans and Frans, like, before following his brother out, they noticed that Sienna, who is somehow tied to the Selkies and from Una's home, came down through the green room and watched Andrew's Hans and Frans leave and then began to follow him. Now, Una cast Hunter's Mark, and unfortunately, she has to use verbal components to cast it, so she had to say the spell out loud, and the spell is unfortunately in their native tongue on the Breaker Isles. So when she said it, she did not roll well on her sleight of hand check or stealth check to mask it. So Sienna noticed someone said something like that in a language that she knows is only from their islands, but then rolled a really bad insight check, and Megan rolled a very good bluff check to make it seem like it wasn't Jasmine who said it. So a little bit confused, Sienna pursued Hans and Frans out, and then it became a game of cat and mouse where the players were trying to close the distance between Hans and Frans and themselves and make sure that Sienna wasn't going to come out of an alley and stab him. There was quite a few bad rolls and quite a few good rolls on both sides for perception checks and also for her trying to sneak up, but it seemed like she just was watching them. At one point, when they all closed in together and she seemed to disappear a bit, Una and Rowan and Nora split off to act like they were going a different direction. So, to see who she followed. And she basically did not follow them. She continued to follow Hans and Frans, and then Hans and Frans, who was trailing after his brother, back to the Dandy Rooster. After that happened, Rowan decided that he was going to drop the Ali disguise since Sienna obviously wasn't following them, and turned into just another random person on the street, and then turned back and started also following again. Una, also picking up on that signal, changed into her tough bad girl form that she takes when she would go to the Boar's Head. Obviously looking like somebody from the Breaker Isles. And then they closed the distance again after probably a little bit of a delay, but they didn't see Sienna again as they walked to the Dandy Rooster. After arriving at the Dandy Rooster, Hans and Frans Andrew's character took off his mask and sat down, got a drink. The inn owner's daughter, a 14-year-old girl, came over and waited on him. And then Hans and Frans Josh's character arrived about 30 seconds afterwards, ordered something to drink. And as the brothers were talking about how Andrew's character was being followed by Sienna, Rowan and Una and Nora were trying to walk to the inn and keep an eye out and see if they saw Sienna lurking around or anything, but they didn't manage to see her. So that's basically what you all missed. Honestly, like, it was pretty tense, but there was no way we could re-record it because there was a lot of rolls. It was probably it was a 10-minute walk back to the Dandy Rooster from the fighting pits, so every round was essentially a roll of perception checks versus stealth checks versus actions. So it would have been impossible to recreate. I'm really sorry we lost it, but hopefully that at least introduces you to some of the main stuff that happened, so that way if it comes up and is plot relevant later, you understand. But mainly right now, the players are all at the Dandy Rooster with the twins inside, sitting down, talking to one another, talking about how Andrew's Hans and Frans was being followed by somebody, the girl who was hanging out with Lou, and then Una, Nora, and Rowan close behind, now disguised as just a random man for Rowan. Nora still in snake form, and Una now dressed up like her bad girl, tough girl form of Una, but who looks definitively like somebody from her island of Selkies. So yeah, that's where we're gonna pick up.
Now that my brother has told me that I was being followed, I'm gonna keep my eye on anybody that comes into the bar.
Well, you
then walks Una.
You see Una in her tough girl form that she wore to the boar's head come into the bar, not come sit by you, go sit somewhere else. And then a minute after,
But I've seen that, so
yeah. So you know it's Una, but then you see, like, how does Rowan come in? Like, how?
Well, I'm still outside.
He's standing outside.
Yeah, I'll stay out for a couple minutes.
Question.
What?
Like, how long does Nora have in her snake form left?
You would have had to redo it for 2 hours at like 9:15, so it's probably 10 something right now. So you still have like
an hour.
An hour?
A little over it, yeah. So you could stay in snake form, or you could drop it.
I'll stay in it for now.
But yeah.
Did I get a good look at the person following my brother?
he rolled much better than I did.
Una did.
Well, he rolled pretty good a couple times.
He rolled pretty good. You would have seen it was a blonde woman but you didn't see Sienna up close, like
Right,
Andrew
yeah, I
did.
don't know who
But
Sienna is.
Yeah, but you would have seen it was a woman with like blonde, long hair that kind of looked like in a cloak. You wouldn't have seen like all of the more Selkie-ish hints, like, like
Sure.
the braids and the sea glass, but you would have seen it was a woman with kind of like blondish hair that was following him.
So brother, you said someone was following me? Who?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I saw she was blonde woman, had a cloak on, kept kind of, appearing in the alleyways, and then realizing I was there and running away. And
I know that the shark had the. Because do I know if the shark is Lou? No, yeah, because there was a description.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Una
Well,
turned into him before, roughly. So
And multiple people were calling him Lou. So
yeah, the noble box.
Yep. So there was a blonde woman that came down and gave him a kiss before the match. Maybe it was her. Do you think they knew it was me?
I don't know.
I was pretty good at hiding myself.
I mean, maybe she just wants, if she was sweet on Lou, maybe she's sweet on you for beating him.
Well, that wouldn't make any sense. How would you go into a fight not willing to lose?
No, he did lose. He lost her.
Do you think she's coming because she's sweet on me now?
Yeah, maybe.
That could make sense.
I mean, there's no way they know it's you.
I mean, how would they even know who we are? We had masks. Wait, we had masks on.
Well, yeah, but
Mask
now I
off.
think we're okay. I think it's too late now. Like, we couldn't sit in here with... I don't think they would appreciate us wearing masks in here.
Yeah, no, that's kind of rude, right? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not the place for it.
So, I mean, I guess what do we do now?
I mean,
think
probably.
I might stay the night. Oh, I'm gonna send telepathically to Sureblood. How hidden is the stables? Like, can you see the road and the front from the stables, or no?
No, the stables are more around the back part of this building, so
Okay.
no, he probably
Well,
would.
I will telepathically tell Sureblood to see if he sees any. Let me know if he sees any blonde women sneaking around out back.
He'll kind of say, "Okay,
You
Like-
got it, boss.
you got it, boss." So Hans and Frans is into blondes.
I mean, if they're into him, if they're attractive and a nice person, he can be into anything.
Ponder's blonde and night. No, I'm kidding.
But he's
Ponder
not
is
into
married.
Ponder.
Not too many.
No,
No,
Ponder's not married.
married.
Wait,
Hughes is.
Hughes is.
Yeah, Elizabeth, the bard maid, wanted him, and he was like, "Look, lady,"
No, Tiffany, the
whatever her
servant.
name was.
Yes. You just got Miss Elizabeth in your head
So
Who?
for being
Elizabeth-
Macho Man. From Miss being
Oh,
Macho
Miss,
Man.
yeah, Miss Elizabeth. Yeah,
For being Macho Man earlier.
yeah. Yep, makes sense.
Well, I mean, if you're staying here, I'll stay here.
I mean, yeah, I've got
And
the
that's-
room upstairs already.
Well, yeah, but you remember we're being followed, so we're not supposed to be on our own.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've already got the room here. You can just stay in my room.
Well, okay, yeah, works for me.
So, do we go over and talk to Nara and Una and Rowan now? Wait, where's Rowan?
Oh, where's Una?
It's probably been a couple minutes when you
Where's-
see Rowan. Rowan, it's been a few minutes outside. You guys see Una sitting in her tough
Yeah,
girl form.
'cause
Oh,
you
right,
see
because
the
I've
tough
seen
girl.
the tough girl. Okay, I've
Yeah.
seen the tough girl.
What do you mean, brother? She's right over there.
Should I roll any
Oh,
perception checks to see them? Or
Yeah,
see if
roll
anything came
perception
up?
checks to. Yep, roll perception checks to see if you see anything.
How many should I roll?
Give me 4.
Okay, at disadvantage.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
dim light.
Okay, that is a 9,
Okay.
a 15, a 12. Oh, shit, is that a natural 1? No, it's a 7. Okay. And a 10.
Okay. You don't notice anything. There's people that kind of go up and down the streets, like making like their way home, or they're leaving from like just other business of the evening or something. But like it's kind of, most people aren't just out and about at this time of night. People are going to bed.
Okay.
Occasionally you'll see the occasional like city guard walk by and like making sure there's no disruptions of the night. But otherwise you don't notice anything like suspicious, like somebody's watching.
Okay.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Okay. Yeah, I'll walk in. And I will where is everybody right now? Una's sitting at a table.
Una's sitting at a table. The twins are looking at her right now, and yeah, now the strange man walks in.
I'll walk up to the bar. Could I get 1 ale, please?
It's the same teenage girl that was waiting on the twins, and she's like, 1 second, and then she'll be like, it'll be 3 copper. Or for this
Okay.
place, it'll probably be 5 copper because it's a little bit nicer of a place, but it's better ale. So she'll.
I assume I
give
picked
you,
up some silver from the pits.
Yeah, you
or
picked up
something.
some silver, so yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
how much money did I pick up? Oh wait, I have 20 and 50, so 70 I won.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got money. Okay.
You picked up 20 from the stuff thrown in the rings, but yeah.
Yeah, brother.
that voice sounds familiar, right?
What voice?
Wasn't at the bar who just ordered a drink.
I turn and look. Are you only like 6 whatever now?
Yeah, I'm full height, 7 feet.
I mean,
I'll look over to you guys and give you an awkward smile.
give us
and
a
wink.
wink and a nod.
Yeah, a wink and a nod.
I mean, I think it's Rowan. I don't see many people that tall.
Yeah, I mean, other than Ali, of course.
Well, yeah, but that was Rowan.
What?
Yeah, that was Rowan.
Really?
Yeah, brother, you're supposed to be the perceptive one.
Look, I didn't want to. I mean,
I mean, to be
Okay.
fair, I didn't realize until I started punching him in the face.
Ah, that's right, you fought Ali. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
you-
when
See,
because I kind of thought
mean,
it was him
I-
at first, and then when we got into the fight, I was like, "Oh, this is definitely Rowan. He's going to kick my ass," but they didn't.
yeah, I mean, how am I supposed to know it's Rowan? The guy never talked. All he did was grunt.
Oh, see, he kind of like showed me his chest. He like opened his little bit.
No. You see,
He didn't do
he
that for
told
you?
you, and nobody told me nothing.
Don't worry,
We're
brother.
nearby.
Nobody told me nothing about what happens after we get done with the fight pits. So
So hold on. Does that mean that the person with Ali, that girl, that was Nora?
no, well, that was Una. Una's the one that can change.
Oh, okay. Okay.
No, I think Una was the snake.
I mean, Nora.
You mean Nora?
That's what I said. Open the ears. You got stupid in the ears, brother.
The
Oh,
relief
okay.
on Josh's face to find out that it was Una versus Nora was priceless. I'm just gonna
That's
put
great.
that out there.
My wife.
What can I
Oh my
say?
god.
He's like, my
What can
wife
I-
wasn't just flirt.
What can I say? I'm a good actor.
But nah, yeah,
Oh,
I think the snake was Nara, because I mean that's kind of the thing that she can do, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right, it's all making sense.
You okay,
Oh.
brother? You seem a little distraught.
No, I was just confused. That's all.
I don't think that's it,
What?
brother.
What's Una doing over there by herself? Where is Nora?
Change the subject. Let me change
Brother,
the
you're
subject.
changing the subject on me.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Look.
brother.
I was just
Brother.
concerned. Okay.
I haven't seen you jump around like this since we left the village.
He's now actively trying to get Una's attention.
Is Josh
I
is
reach over,
Hans
like,
drunk?
slap my brother's face a little bit, like, no, brother. Son,
Look, we gotta reconvene to get the plan together. Okay.
no, we do, but first, I just want to say, good choice, brother.
I mean, the ale's good here. There wasn't much of a choice.
You know what I'm talking about, brother.
Yeah, I mean, hot soup is better than cold soup. I agree.
Well, it's a good thing we got stew then instead.
That's what I meant. Don't try to mix up my words. Okay.
No, brother.
Look, I gotta go to the bathroom.
No, brother, don't be weird.
Is that your avoidance?
Yeah, it's a
I gotta take a shit.
100%. I gotta go to the bathroom.
What do
My
the kids call
bowels
it?
just clenched.
What do the kids call it? Purge and party.
Yeah.
What kids are you hanging out with?
Other than that
Listen,
one.
This is back in his
man,
drinking,
bars of
smoking
college.
days.
I mean, I partied a lot when I was younger, and
Anyway.
So do you actually go to the bathroom?
Oh yeah, no, he gets up and leaves. He's just
I'm just smiling the whole time.
100% avoidance, 100%.
Because, like, he's had an inkling that his brother, you know,
Is
had a
sweet on
crush.
her.
Yeah, it was sweet on her, but now I'm like, oh man, you might actually have like a good old crush on her.
Ooh.
So I'm excited because I can't wait for the eventual scene where he's like in the forge, like, no, this isn't what's happening. And then the beast starts singing. Who'd you think?
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
He's the
I've seen the movie.
My favorite song in the entire
It's the
movie.
Muses.
Won't say I'm in love.
There's an entire scene where like
Did I have to sing it in Hans Franz's
the
voice?
best song in
Yes,
the
please. You have to be
It's
Meg.
basically
I
These
will
will be-
say I'm in love.
Do-do-do-do. Ah.
So, while my brother's taking the piss, I'm gonna.
and maybe something else. Like drugs to calm his anxiety.
Just in doing blow off the trunk out back.
I'm
they
just
used to sit on the
summoning-
ship.
I'm summoning magic bees, squishing them up, and just. Ah.
Oh God!
Good God, brother, you have a problem.
Give me your essence.
I'm gonna kind of eye over to Una, and just kind of like give her like just a slight nod.
I mean, Una would nod back. She's sitting at a table big enough for everyone. So,
Well, he doesn't know a nod means nothing to him. Like, we're acknowledging each other. Are you
Yeah.
gonna like motion? Come sit over here.
You should like go rub your fingers along his back shoulders and like come
Oh.
hither. It works so well
Wait,
And
earlier.
Hans and Frans would be like, "What the actual fuck is going on here?"
Hold
dude,
up.
what if Una did flirt with Andrew's character?
Oh, that'd be funny.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Anyways, Una would have her arms crossed and like nod her head and like give you like the hand wave to like
Come hither.
come over. And also
Alright,
try to
I'll-
get Roan's attention too to get him to come over
I'll
and
go
sit
over.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait for
I'll,
Josh's
I'll grab
Hans
my
Frans.
stew and my ale and go sit down.
And at this point, I mean, let Nora do whatever she wants.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and slither down your arm, down into, I'm guessing, like, letting you
There's
place
like
me
a
in a
corner
chair.
you can hide. Yeah.
Okay, and then I'll turn back.
Yeah.
Lizzie, in the restroom, is there like a wash basin or whatever,
Yeah. There's like a
or
little
like
bit
a,
of like
a basin that you can fill with water?
yeah. It's more of like a little dish, and then there's like a
Like a pump faucet?
yeah.
Sure. He'll just, wash, like, just like, okay.
When Nora turns back into Nora, I'm just gonna kind of like look at her like,
Do I
And then-
notice this
Keep
kind
your-
of look?
Insight check.
Well, I think you would have noticed the two of them, like, you wouldn't have heard what they were saying, but you could see that they were kind of getting animated, and Andrew's Hans and Frans was, like, smiling at him, like, oh, and Josh's was like, no, we need to, like, go, like, but you couldn't hear what they were saying because it's kind of loud in here, and there's a lot of, like, talking, but you could have seen this exchange where it was basically, like, Josh's Hans and Frans was, like, trying to, like, change the subject or getting animated, and Andrew's Hans and Frans was just like,
But he's saying that he's looking directly at me with
Is
this
she a
weird,
snake
goofy
still?
smile. No,
Is she a
I'm
snake?
back in myself.
Yeah. she's
Okay, then
herself.
Yeah.
yeah.
So after washing, like splashing his face, slapping his cheeks, looking himself in the eye, he'll go back out
Mental pep talk.
Mental pep talk.
There wasn't any. Okay, Sam, because you read Lore
No mirror.
Olympus. Because you read Lore Olympus, the panel where Hades is like completely flustered, and then he looks in the mirror. He's like, "Get your shit together."
Get your shit together.
That's basically what I'm picturing.
Okay, so Nora notices the face that Andrew's Hans and Frans gives her.
Yeah.
She's like not gonna tell you anything, but she's just gonna like cock an eyebrow, like, "Why are you looking at me like that?"
I'll like when I realize she's looking, I'll be like, and look away.
So Hans and Frans will come back out, look at
He's
the booth
wet.
where his no, what? There's no towels in there.
No.
What decade do you think this is?
I
Yeah,
guess so. All right, so he'll just like have brushed him, tried to swipe off the extra moisture, and he'll come out and he'll look at.
It's more of what century do you think this is?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he'll look out at the booth where his brother and him were sitting, and then look over at the table where they all are sitting. He'll go over, get his stew and ale, and sit down next to his brother.
Wait, which seats are open at the table? What
Well,
Hans
Nora
and
said
Frans
she
are
was in the corner,
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
No one puts baby in a corner.
except
we
for
did
baby.
because she needed to hide. So
Yep,
Okay.
Technically, I'm the baby.
I put
Okay, so
my
I
own
would've- I-
self in the corner.
Self in the corner.
Put her own bad self in the corner.
I wanted to see if he was gonna have to sit next to her, because that would have been funny. But no.
No, I wouldn't have done. I'm giving my brother a hard time, but he's not going to be a dick about it.
But he should.
No, he shouldn't. He's his brother.
I know.
which is why
But-
you should.
But he's got like 3 sessions to say something on his own. Then no.
Real quick, while we're at the table, I just kind of want to get a read of the room. Like, as I'm sitting down, just like take a glance across the room and
Okay,
see if I
give
notice
me-
anything.
Give me an insight check.
Insight?
Yeah,
Ooh, I'm not good at those.
because you're trying to read the room.
Yeah, that's a straight 7.
Okay. It looks like people are kind of relaxing after a busy day. They're talking, they're drinking. There's like gossip and laughter, and like nothing like super serious or anything. It's just more of like everyone's relaxing.
Okay.
I'm going to keep my eye on the door and see if anybody else comes in.
Okay.
So, Rowan, what's with Form?
And he just like looks nervously around the room and then slowly leans in to the center of the table so that everyone can hear. And quietly explains sort of vaguely what happened on his way out of the fighting pit. And then a little bit of the chase and the double back. Why I changed.
Right.
Oh,
So that
so
was
she's
who?
not sweet on you.
I
She
mean,
wants
she
to take the
probably.
money.
I will also tell her what her name is too. Once I find it in my notes here.
Wasn't it Sienna?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, Sienna. I'll inform you who she was specifically.
I basically wanted to make sure that if she was doubling back, that we would also get behind her, just in case anything weird was happening. And I wanted to make sure that you guys were safe.
Thanks, Rowan.
Well, so if she followed us here, that means she's gonna tell Lou where we are, where you are, brother,
Yeah.
and he's
I
gonna.
mean, I kicked his ass once already today. And now I've got my
Yeah.
sword after Una gives it back to me.
Nora has it.
Oh,
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
She's
the
got the
bag of
bag.
holding.
Nora will take the bag, like the little back satchel off, and put it on the table so that everybody can get their stuff back out.
Yeah, and I'll grab my stuff out and I'll put the mask into the bag.
Swap axes.
Like that. Into the bag.
that.
So, I'm just.
Una
Is it
will
the-
also tell you guys that she has a date with Ulan tomorrow at 9.
For what?
As Jasmine.
For what?
Why?
In hopes to gather more information, and
More information about what?
he didn't look right. He didn't look like himself, and
When was the last time you saw him?
a few years
6
ago,
Yeah, like 6 years ago.
yeah,
When people change, and plus if they're here, like, stealing from people and doing shit, he's probably a
looks-
little...
he looks tormented, which may make it easier for me to find
But-
my uncle
but
versus using
what
Lou.
kind of
who would have to
information-
attack.
Are you looking to get from him?
Well, if he knows anything, basically what's bugging him for the most part. I mean, if he is tormented by his actions,
Yeah, but is he going to tell you that, oh, I'm really torn up because we've been robbing and killing
No.
people?
but you can, I don't know, like you can see things and it'd be a possible way in. Or we could
Possible
follow
way
him
into what?
to get to Lou.
I mean, Lou's looking for the
Yeah,
exile.
he's looking for me.
Yeah, but
So-
right now you don't look like the exile. He knows that you're
Yeah.
staying here.
I think it'll be a little obvious when they put two and two together.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well,
Yeah.
you got
Lou's not the
if you got rid of
smartest.
if you got rid of the feathers in your cloak and stuff, that probably would help.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'd probably get rid of the cloak. But
I mean,
mean,
it's just an
so-
option. We don't have to because it's not me. It's Jasmine that he's wanting to see, and I could totally just blow him off too. But it would be at least a way.
I mean, Felix already told us to stay away from those guys because they mean business. I'm not saying that we should avoid them, but we kind of went into tonight without the plan. We went to a fighting pit and just fought. I mean, should we have stayed and tried to follow Lou? Should we have tried to do something to him? You know, there
I
wasn't
think it
really
was
a
more
plan.
gain information to
But what information were we trying to gain?
make sure that he's actually here. I mean,
We
make
knew
sure that
he
it
was
truly
actually here.
was. No,
Liz.
we didn't. We
Lizzie.
thought we did, but we weren't 100% sure.
What?
The conversation I heard on the stairs, she was
Yep.
telling him, just give it a couple more days and this will all pay
Mhm.
off.
This
I
all
think
be
it has
over.
something to do with the
She's-
festival.
Wait, no, yeah. So here's what Rowan heard. I'll give you a little bit of a reminder because this was not that long ago. She said, "None of this matters, Lou. I'm sorry you lost your final fight here, but there are better things ahead. A few more days, and then this is all over."
I think it has
Yeah, I
something to
would've
do with the
hoped that.
festival.
Did you relate that to us?
Yes.
hmm
So this is the final fight. They must be going somewhere, doing something.
I think it has something to do with the festival coming up.
So there really wasn't a clear plan on like what we were supposed to do that night. You know, like what happens if Lou would have recognized us and attacked? Were we supposed to just run? You know, we got to kind of get more of a plan in place before we do some of this stuff now. You know, we're kind of getting in deep. And if we don't have a plan, these people could easily, you know, kill one of us, do something, you know, kidnap one of us. You know, and I mean, this isn't anybody's fault because it wasn't a plan, but if I left first, we probably should have stayed pretty close still. Because as long as it took my brother to finally catch up to me, you know, someone could have easily attacked me and pulled me into an alley. I mean, I've had a hell of a time with it, but I didn't have any weapons, you know.
I definitely think that we should not be disarmed anymore. I think that we should definitely be ready at any moment.
Yeah,
I think tonight was primarily, at least for me, to gather information, verify that they were there. If we could have followed them back, that would have been great. But because Sienna was pretty much glued to Lou, I didn't think that there was an option to do so.
do we have a way
I'm
to
not
track her?
sure.
do we have a way to track her?
I might be able to. It would take me some time to try to follow her in the cities, and I'd have to go now while the trail was still warm. Which is also kind of why
But she also
I
might be coming
wanted-
here.
We turned, and when we turned, she saw that she was continuing to follow you. But when we came back around, she wasn't there.
So she could have just seen where we went in and went to go report.
So, for me, this was gather information, verify that it's just the four of them, because that's also important to know that it's not just
And that's fine, but you know,
Just
we
the four.
didn't really go in with that as a plan, as a group.
true.
You know, I feel like a lot of us didn't really know what we were doing there, other than fighting in the pit, which was good because I won. That was pretty sweet. But you know, just for future stuff, we need to have. You know, you had that plan, but I don't think that was expressed to the rest of us very well. And not that that's. Well, we could have asked more questions, and we could have put something together better as a group. I'm just saying that for in the future, as a group, we need to come up with more of a plan.
So, what do we do now? Do we wait for Lou to come to take his
I mean, that's
revenge on you?
That's my thought. But if we do
I don't want
that,
to put people here at risk if it comes to that, though.
do you think they would like run the inn down, or would they just attack me?
I mean, they might just try to do a sneak attack, but the moment we start fighting back, we could be putting others at risk.
What did he say, Rowan? Didn't he say something about pushing my brother's face into a wall or something like that?
So I'll just stay away from walls.
Almost exactly that.
I think he wants to get his hands on my brother, not burn down an inn. I mean,
But
you know
again-
Lou better, so what kind of a man is he?
like when was saying though,
He's
when
not
it
an
comes to
honest
the
man.
fight,
He's not honorable. I think he sneak attack.
you know, when it comes to a fight, you know, if we corner him, we don't know what Senna, whatever her name is, can do.
I know that Ulin is like Nora, and
She's
I think Para
He's
is
Fae?
no, a nature caller.
oh, okay.
I think Para is also some sort of magic wielder. I
Well,
think Sienna is more of a fighter, and I think that that Lou is also just a fighter. Maybe similar to Rowan.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you guys. I met Lord Rice. He's a shit.
Right, Rice Ayres?
Yeah. The guy from Highfield, you know, who let his
Yeah,
people die.
I know who he is.
Because I don't know. You guys have deliberately not told me that.
You know that he
He's
was,
the one
he-
that's after.
Douche.
Yeah.
You know that he's a douche.
Rhiannon.
You know I made the pin for her because he's a douche.
Rhiannon.
No, but you gave that to her without
gave it to her
her
without
when he
us
wasn't
being there.
around.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true. Never
Yeah, you
mind.
deliberately
So
did away from all of us.
I say,
Oh yeah, he's the one that's been chasing after Rhiannon, and she keeps telling him to go away, and he won't go away.
He's the one who
Why
wanted to
not?
poison with drunk berries tonight.
Why wouldn't he go? Wait, I'm really confused now. Why is he visiting her at the university? He's supposed to be leading his people
Yeah,
out in the Highfields.
well, apparently he wants to marry Rhiannon, and she's refused it, and so now he keeps pestering her with more marriage proposals and gifts, and
This is like
Stop him.
the least honorable man I think I've ever met.
I know.
When she says now, that means now.
If I know anything, and I'm not a good judge of character, I don't think he's a good person.
No, I think you're a pretty good judge of character, Rowan. Don't sell yourself short. But, I mean, look what he did to his people, or what he didn't do for his people. Hey. Sorry, I got sidetracked.
It's fine.
I met a bunch of nobles, but he was up there too. So anyway, what do we do tonight?
Tonight, I think we rest, and
What do we stay
know-
here? Do we leave? Do we try to sneak out the back?
I personally think we should go to the shrine at this point. Just to keep
Oh
civilians.
yeah, you could do your
hurt.
tent thing again.
That may not be a bad idea.
I mean, they do have Sureblood though.
He can come with. He can stay in the tent with us.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna be harder to sneak out.
That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, you riding on Sureblood kind of guarantees that you get away, sneak or not.
Or guarantees that they may follow us.
I mean,
Which would be good. To
follow you. You just get
Yeah.
on Sureblood and go out of town, and then we'll leave after and get to the shrine and meet up. There's no way they're catching you.
Yeah, but I don't want us to be so separated again.
well,
Oh, that's
we could
true.
go as a group. How can Sherba carry 2?
Yeah, I should be able
Yes.
to.
And then Nora, you need to take a small break, and then you can do it once more, right?
She needs to
Um,
like rest for another 45 minutes or so.
Why is that?
Because she doesn't have any more B
Mine's
shapes left.
all within a short rest, so I need to take a short rest first.
Oh, I
I'm
see,
out
I
of
see.
B shapes.
That's
So
fine.
if I
It's
take a
still-
short rest, then I can help people out.
it's still relatively early.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then either can Rowan ride you?
I'm glad to see that smirk. I'm glad to see that smirk. That is a pairing I did not foresee, but
Let's not go there.
Lizzie,
Come on,
why?
guys.
Yeah, Lizzie, jeez.
So if 2 people ride on Sureblood, that's you, brother, and who else?
Well, but I was kind of shit. We don't have another way to do this, do we?
Well, if I can stay pretty unseen.
Right.
So if we can get you 4 there, I can follow shortly after. Without
Yeah, I
having
don't
any
think that's a good
problems.
idea. So, if Rowan disguises himself as some random person, and before I go back outside to put the mask on, both of us get on Sureblood and we leave. And then, like, a couple minutes later, you 3 go out to the stables. Nora, you turn into a horse. And then you guys take, like, a little bit of a
Roundabout.
not roundabout way, but just a different way than normal.
Is Nora and Sherba strong enough to carry both you and Rowan? And then Nora, are you strong enough to carry
I mean,
Hans?
yeah, I don't really have any armor on, and neither does Rowan.
Yeah,
but Rowan requires like a war horse to ride because he's
Yeah.
heavy.
Is
so
that
maybe
what-
Rowan should go with me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. 'Cause I think if Nora does a war horse, she can carry just Rowan, which is
But
why
then what about
Sherba
you
would
and my
be
brother?
you. And I mean that someone's gonna have to be left behind unless we buy a horse from this inn.
Well, no, I suppose no, because a wall house should easily be able to carry Rowan, and you're very small, so you 2, and then me and my brother will both put our masks on. You know, it may not be too strange that the 2 masked fighters were together.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, I can do a war horse, so that would be fine.
As long
A
as
war
everyone
horse
else
can
is
do
okay.
540 pounds, so
Yeah, we figured
How many
Rowan was
pounds
like
are
30
you?
something.
Yeah, how heavy is
Yeah.
Rowan?
Yeah, I thought we figured it out. He was like 320 or something like that.
yeah,
Sure.
it sounds about right.
Yeah, so then I'd be able to carry Una too with that. Because Una's
yeah,
small.
Una's not. Yeah.
yeah,
I
that's fine.
am with gear on. I'm 190 pounds.
Okay, and so
So it'd be 570 at least,
Well,
or
she'd be
5
a-
something.
So she'd be a little
Be-
over, but
it'd be 5'10".
if you
But I
put
could
stuff
put
in the bag of
Stuff in the
holding,
holding.
yeah,
Yeah.
her
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a war horse will have less trouble than because Sureblood can do. He's a riding horse. He can do 480. So
Oh, yeah.
he could probably carry the twins.
Yep.
yeah,
And
if you
then
just
she
put
could
stuff
do
in the
both
bag of
them,
holding.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all we have to do is throw Rowan's axes in there. We're good.
Yeah.
Much.
Just get
no, that works.
some of the bigger weight off, and we're good.
Mhm.
Good at that point.
Okay, yeah, I like that. So the twins will go on Sureblood, and then Nora, Una, and Rowan will leave.
Follow after.
Yeah, after.
And we can take a little bit of a longer route.
Right.
I like it.
Sounds like a plan.
Meet
Oh,
up
and,
with-
and Hans and Frans is gonna get into his blink kilt.
Ah.
But I don't know how you wear trousers. They're so constricting.
What do you mean? You're not supposed to wear them so
know-
tight, brother.
It's not my fault.
They're your pants, aren't they?
Sigourney Weaver mistook my measurements or something. She messed up. It's too tight.
Maybe she did it on purpose.
So rude. So uncomfortable.
I mean,
No wonder I lost that second fight.
I wasn't gonna say anything, brother, but it really looked like you were trying to make sure everybody saw what you had.
Look. I was not trying to do that. Sigourney Weaver wanted to see what I had, maybe. Ugh.
It's a public service, really.
You're all welcome.
You're 14. Go back to your room.
And Sureblood is a warhorse, by the way,
Oh, well then, yeah,
Oh.
whatever. Okay.
because I can choose a warhorse, a pony, a camel, an elk, or a mastiff.
Okay, then yep, warhorse. Problem solved.
Perfect.
So you guys can leave and just you don't see anybody like following you, or you don't see anybody specifically coming to look for you guys as you make it out to the shrine at night. But one thing I will say is you get out there, Josh. Did you guys want to talk on the horses on the way there, or no? You just jump into it.
Yeah, I mean, so I'm gonna leave like a gold for because I already paid for my room.
Yep.
So whatever, that's fine. But I'll leave a gold for the
The waitress.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, she'll take it and be very happy that she got a gold. But yeah, you guys, unless you guys are gonna talk on the way there, because it's the twins riding together, and then the other three, and Una, and then Rowan riding Nora.
Yeah, I don't have anything to discuss
Okay.
really.
I guess I
Maybe
want to
just
see if
like-
Andrew
just like
interrogated
do
you
it.
more, but
Jab on my brother, like
wait, we'll wait for Andrew to come back for that. But is there anything with
Yeah.
Nora and Una and Rowan as they're riding there? Nope. Okay.
No.
I think all Nora has to say is nay.
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 Going to bed.
Maybe a
Poor
win
Nora.
here or there.
But you have to, even though you're a warhorse, like, and you're kind of at your maximum capacity, you're pushing through, Nora. It's a little, you're like, oh, that'd be really hard.
Oh,
to
she's
gallop
gonna be
like this.
exhausted when
Oh,
she
yeah.
gets back
Just
to the camp.
in her head, she's like steak and eggs and eggs and steak.
Oh,
What is
so-
it that Hans and Frans always sing?
Just got to keep your head in the game. So as Hans and Frans is riding Sureblood with his brother, obviously his brother has the reins. So Hans and Frans is just like on certain gallops. He's just gonna like, just like drive his fist or squeeze a little harder on his brother's ribs. Just as but in the motion of Sureblood. So it's almost masked, but he's just squeezing a little too hard.
Doing
But
that
his
on
his brothers may not be the smartest man in the world, but he knows his
He's
brother.
got high wisdom. Yeah, he's got a high wisdom in these regards.
So I'm gonna start like having like as we're like going over like a long stride, there's like a little divot or a log we're jumping over. I'm gonna tell Sureblood to sort of kick his back legs higher, so my brother kind of like takes it way harder.
Oh,
Okay,
brother, I
boss.
thought you knew how to ride a horse. Ow!
I thought you knew how to ride a horse. Just hold on.
I am. I'm a passenger.
Yeah, hold on like a normal person.
Yeah, okay, he'll do
And
the wrestler hold.
And I'm just like laughing at this point, so like it's pretty.
Sherblood
understandable.
kind of sends a telepathic message, and he's like, he's not as good of a rider as that other girl that was on the other day.
About me?
No, he says
about,
that to you.
Yeah.
He's like, he's not as
to
good of a
Rihanna,
rider.
yes. And I telepathically say back, he's trying to be an idiot,
He's succeeding.
so he has it coming.
He's succeeding.
And I just start laughing and laughing.
What's so funny, brother?
And he'll just start like jabbing him in the ribs. Just
Oh man, I imagine that by the time we make it there, we wipe out. So we're gonna go full on like brothers, just like fucking with each other, and
no, what you
You're just
do.
crawling and wrestling on the ground.
What you do, Andrew, is as we get there, you just unsummon Sureblood. We fall to the ground, but you're ready for it. And you just like catch me with an
Three-point
elbow or
landing.
something.
I wouldn't throw an elbow. I just let you fall and laugh at you.
Oh,
No, I wouldn't want to. I don't want to unsummon him though, because that'll eat up my last second level spell to resummon him.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah, sure.
familiar.
Sureblood will kind of, as you guys get into the clearing, he'll actually kind of round up, like he's trying to get you both to fall off of his back. Like, all right, I'm done with your shit.
Stop your fighting.
And
God.
I am just gonna let it happen and follow my brother. Just kind
Oh!
of like push so that back to chest, back to chest, just knock the wind out.
Catch me, brother.
Oh, and he'll try to like roll you in like sideways. What's the thing where you pull him back? And,
Suplex.
yeah, he'll like side flex, just like you fall on him. It's like side flex you to get off of him, and
I'll deliberately try to stand up. I'm like, brother, you're not helping. I'm trying to get away from trying to stand up here.
all right, you want to athletics roll this, brother?
Sure.
I'll totally athletics roll this.
Oh my god.
Oh
my
shit!
I got a +7 here. That's only a 13. That's only a 13.
The 7. I rolled a 1.
All right, I got you.
You're not stuck. Get off.
And I'm just laughing.
I just like toss some like dirt and sand at you.
We're gonna end on just some good old-fashioned
Okay.
brotherly love.
So I'm
Yeah.
guessing after like an hour, we all, like the rest of us finally show up.
Yeah, you guys are probably waiting for a half hour or so till they get there. Is there anything, or are you just gonna keep being in silent
Oh,
with
I
each
thought-
other?
Just
Oh,
keep
I
what?
mean, I wouldn't necessarily be silent. If he just keeps on laughing, I'd probably make a couple passes at him. Just
Yeah, just kind of wrestling around.
it's just a big old wrestling match.
You may be
Yeah.
the champion in the ring, but you're in my territory now.
Just
We're not in the forge now, brother. This is my place.
I can summon a forge wherever I want. I am the forge. Ah,
Oh my god. I will say, as you guys are tossing each other, and specifically, you toss him towards Josh's little shrine that he built last time. You
no,
hear
we
a-
stayed away from the shrines.
Oh yeah, we're not stupid.
This is not that close. You hear like a faint little
Okay.
humming noise.
I stop. I'm like,
did you hear
brother,
that?
you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it.
Brother, can you hear me?
Do you
What
want
is
to
that?
go and play?
What is that?
I mean, it sounds like humming. Where's that, Lynn?
I'm gonna start like moving around to see if I can like see where it's coming from.
Give me a perception check with disadvantage because it is dark out. Unless you put your goggles on.
Well, we're listening. We're
Why
not
am
looking.
I just I'm listening?
That's right. That's
We're
right.
listening. Yeah,
Ooh,
23.
15. Oh.
Okay. With your 15 even, you can tell it's not that hard to see. It's coming from the area where Hans and Frans, Josh's character, built his shrine.
Brothers,
Okay,
it's-
probably like staying low and like almost like in because
So
you know
when everybody else shows up, we're on all fours, like down by this shrine,
Mm-hmm.
asses in the air.
yeah, basically
Brother,
we're like
you
a couple of football players ready to move some boulders.
Brother, what is this?
It's my shrine. I put it together for Angid.
Did I know that you'd put that here?
Yeah, it's what else he saved all those sticks and rocks for. He built it while he was making dinner.
No, but you did it in the middle of the night, didn't you?
I lit
Oh,
it
that's
in
what
the
you
middle of the night. That's right. No, I
Oh.
assembled it. I assembled it during my watch and then lit it. Yeah.
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 Why? Did you put that here?
Yeah. After I cleaned the camp area, I kind of used everything to make this little forge and, offered a place to Angid. I was very proud of what you did for Moru. And so, I wanted to kind of...
That gives me an idea. I think we should make a shrine to
Florian?
Florian. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
No,
I mean, we
it's
should,
not-
right? And have all three of them here.
Yeah, then we'll have all three. That's a good idea.
All right, Josh, let's you and I plan this out. I'm like, what kind of
Okay.
shrine we're gonna make.
I
but
think we'll
mainly,
discuss my
Josh,
position.
yeah, just like I was gonna say, you have you see near your little shrine when you left it last, it was constructed, you lit, and there was like the little embers and stuff there. But
Right.
now, like not above it, but nearby it, there in the tree is like a hive now that is growing, and near it, there's near the shrine itself, but out of the reach of like the flames, there is some flowers growing that are very well liked by bees, and you guys always in your village associated them with being like things that made Angid happy, like and were near because bees liked them. So
Nice.
it's very similar to how you have a heather plants on yours, Andrew, which are associated with Moru.
The power
Very
of
nice,
the shrine
brother.
is growing.
Oh my. Apparently this was good.
Oh my.
Hello,
my.
bees.
So I get like close to the hive and I can hear the humming from inside. Is that?
Yep. They're
Oh,
settling
they're so
down for the
happy.
night.
They're so happy. We probably should stop wrestling. We don't want to disturb them.
Oh, I didn't realize you gave up. Okay.
Just tackles him.
Oh yeah, no, he's just like that. Like his leg starts jittering a little bit, and away from the hive, he like picks you up and runs you back.
Oh, does he? Let's try this one more time, brother.
Okay, all right, here we go.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Good luck, buddy.
12. That's
I
a
got-
12.
Natural 20.
That's a
That's right.
3.
19.
3?
No,
Oh,
19.
Yeah,
Okay.
So 25.
Yeah,
You come at me and I just stop you. Oh, so you did give up.
No. You're just so fat I couldn't lift you.
It's from all the Dr. Pepper he drank.
So I'll just have to knock you down right here.
No, I remember because that's what Josh said when he got
No,
his
I know.
raise about the Dr. Pepper. I
Oh,
don't
man.
think you're fat. I'm just quoting my husband.
No, I know you don't, Lizzie. I know you don't.
I think you are.
Yeah, I was saying, I know Josh does, but anyway, so the others show up eventually.
Yeah, they show up and you guys are wrestling with each other because why not?
At the edge of wherever our little like shrine
Grove is?
site grove is, Nora just like stops, kind of like lets them get off, and just instantly turns back and is like, I am so tired. I'm done.
You hear
And
sounds
you can
of
tell
combat.
she's just like exhausted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even have any good. Oh, I will cast with my
You
last
have one spell slot left.
I have one spell. I'm gonna cast Good Berries and give them to Nora, all of them,
Okay.
All 10.
all
She
10.
didn't even take any damage. She's just tired.
No, she's just really tired. They'll make her
But
feel
Speaking of-
better.
People, yeah.
I will, as we're like, oh, never mind.
Going to bed.
No, never mind.
Yeah.
Now Uda's out of
Oh.
spells.
Yeah, but you guys walk into the campsite and see the two of them wrestling.
We're riding that combat high.
Yep. And then Rowan's like, "Oh, I'm gonna join in." Buddy!
No.
Ah!
Have you
Just
met
have,
Rowan?
like carrying Nora
Please,
at this
but
point.
Yeah.
He's probably like baby cradling
Yeah.
Nora as
Yeah,
we're walking
yeah.
closer.
As the party settles down for the evening in Hans and Franz's shrine area, what are their next plans in pursuing Lu, Ulin, Sienna, and Para? Find out next time on The Guardians of Fehal.